This is New Orleans!
All right, let's move on to the next topic of discussion here on the report that the Saints, Cowboys among teams considering trading up for defensive end, Miami defensive end Rueben Bain Jr., which is 2 weeks remaining until the start of the 26th draft. The rumor mill is starting to heat up as teams begin exploring potential trade packages to secure their top targets. NFL's Ian Rapoport noted today that the Saints are a team that to watch for a potential draft trade up, specifically as they target an edge rusher behind Chase Young and Carl Granderson. Now, Rapoport added that the Saints have done extensive homework on this year's class. Miami's Rueben Bain Jr. among those emerging as a likely target if they decide to move up in a move. Let's just say in this scenario that he gets to 6 or maybe 7. No, there's some teams are up and around 10. You got the KC Chiefs, the Saints at 8. You have the Cowboys a little after that, who have all done homework on edge rushers who have a need at the edge rush position and try to get an impact player for their defense. Now, currently, the Saints holding the number 8 pick. The Saints could look to trade up to get ahead of teams like KC and Dallas, both of whom are expected to be in the market for edge rushers. The Browns, who hold the 6th pick, could be a potential trade partner as well. Do we actually see Bain be the subject of the first trade in the top 10? For me, this isn't a question of when it's going to, where he's going to go. He's going to go in round 1. He's going to be a top 15 pick. It really just does someone absolutely need him to where they decide to trade up for him, Rapoport says. With uncertainty surrounding Cam, a decision in free agency, the Saints have a significant need filled opposite standout Chase Young. Carl Granderson remains on the roster. His inconsistent play leaves questions at the position. Don't be surprised if the Saints make an aggressive move on draft day to secure one of the top edge rushers in this class. So Ian Rapoport dropping the scoop today that the Saints and Cowboys among teams considering trading up for Bain. And Bain is one of those guys, man. If you fall to you at 8, here's Bain's draft card right here, according to NFL.com. 6.7 as a first-year starter, 6'2", some say 6'2.5", kind of undersized, but a pure pass rusher. 260-plus pounds for Bain. As you can see, we scroll down on his tackle, his player bio. You can see he was doing it over multiple seasons. He was a freshman All-American back in 2023, third-team All-ACC, defensive rookie of the year. Just doing that, 7.5 sacks and 3 forced fumbles in 13 games. That year in 24, honorable mention for All ACC, started all 9 games, had 3.5 sacks that year, missed a few games due to injuries. Then last year, second team Associated Press All-American, ACC Defensive Player of the Year, first team All ACC finalist for the Lot Impact Trophies Nations. The trophy, which is the nation's top defender with integrity, maturity, performance, academics, community, and tenacity, started all 16 games, had 54 tackles, 15.5 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks. He had an interception, a pass breakup, forced fumble, and his nickname is Hurricane Bain. I like that, Hurricane Bain. That is fire. But yeah, like I said, this guy is definitely a get. Some consider him the best pure edge rusher in the draft, is what Bain is considered by many. So if you look at the overview, and this is what some of them believe about Bain, a note taker, grudge holder, block disruptor with a compact frame, defensive tackle, play strength. Bain is ill-tempered with his take-ons, hitting blockers with heavy hands. He plays through tight ends and can anchor against tackles and double teams, lacks the length, and can lead to being smothered if he doesn't land the first strike. Now, he can bend and flip his hips on top of the rush, swipe away punches, generate a bull rush. His playoff run showed an ability to generate quick wins if tackles are passive in setting to him. He can also rush off the edge or mismatch guards as sub package, would dictate. Now, Bain's explosive power and toughness should translate to giving him a high floor as an NFL starter. So that's a few things we want to talk about with Bain, who some would consider the best edge rusher in the draft, like the most purest edge rusher in the draft going there. So that's something that the Saints really need to pay attention to, because like I said, We could look at the wide receiver. It's quite a few things, man. It's the Saints bill at draft board, but it's a couple of things that just to talk about with Bain, because they're right. Carl Granderson's numbers have fallen off. Chase Young, coming off the injury, did some positive things, had 10 sacks last year. Putting Hurricane Bain in the Saints defense as an edge rusher, even if you do sign Cam Jordan back, it's not a long-term solution, right? Cam is toward the back end of his career, and you need somebody to kind of keep this thing going on. So in the end, why not Hurricane Bain? There's a lot of stuff going on. The Saints building that draft board. You never know how it'll fall, right? Because the Saints have multiple needs that they have to deal with. Some of these needs you look at could be could some of these answers to some of these things, like we talk about the nickel position, who plays the nickel, like we see an unofficial depth chart is showing you right now, they got Jordan Howden as the possible star player in the defense. And it depends on what the Saints get in the second round, because it could be a situation where it's defense, depending on who's on the board. You still have the wide receiver position, the defensive end, you have the star position, you have the backup center position, which should be high on the list. So they're quite few things they have to do. But the good news is they have 5 picks in the first 4 rounds, so they can be able to accomplish all of this stuff. If you need to get a wide receiver, a defensive end, a backup center for McCoy that could potentially turn into a starting center in the future, you need to add the star player or secondary help, a cornerback, a linebacker later on, some wide, just different things, a running back down the line, whatever on the back end. 8 picks, first 5 in the first 4 rounds. You can get a lot of stuff done in terms of that. So Saints could be trading up for Bain. We got to keep an eye out on it. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section. Also hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show as well. Here we go.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.